How's it going, everybody? Doing an eating peanut butter sandwiches vid here today, and I'll be drinking some Baja Blast. 20th anniversary of Baja Blast, no shit. Didn't realize it's been around for that long. It's got some regular peanut butter sandwiches on honey wheat bread. I apologize for the bit of a glare bouncing off my face. Cat's chilling on the bed. You probably see her ear. Maybe. Love that Baja Blast. The Taco Bell original. I completed Sinking City. Cool game. I'd almost classify it a little bit as a hidden gem. It had technical issues from time to time. Combat was decent. It wasn't fantastic, but it was pretty good. You're either fighting the wild beasts, or whatever they call them, or humans, and the humans will go down quickly. It's a story in the H.P. Lovecraft universe or whatever. So it involves like cults and people trying to start the cycle, repeat the cycle. They want Cthulhu to come and shit. It's pretty cool when like your sanity is starting to go down. You'll start seeing shit on the screen and stuff. It was like, honestly, a cool game. Man, I played it to completion. I actually got the achievements for all three endings because I'm like, oh, I got the ending I wanted to do, which was, I think it was restart the cycle. So, like, everything's safe. You're the seed, as they call it. And I guess every however many years, seed has to kind of sacrifice himself. And then the cycle will restart again, but you're safe for a little bit. That's how the ending is. You see another ship coming in, meaning another guy is coming in to investigate stuff, and like you were. And then the next one I did was because you were able to just reload your last autosave was right at the point where you make the choice. I'm like, well, screw it. I'm getting these other two achievement points. They're like 75-point achievements. The second one I just left. You just leave Oakmont. And then you're in a bar, and it's like, 4 or 5 years later, and all of a sudden they're like, a flood's coming. Massive flood comes in the bar here and starts to flood. And he's like, oh my God. And then the third one is you give yourself to the daughter, I guess, of Cthulhu or whoever. That was a big word, I forget what it was. And then you do that at the end, and then you just see a giant wave coming over the town, and it ends. I'd check it out if you're interested. horror games is not really scary or anything. There's a couple of parts where I go, but it's nothing like scary. But a solid detective gameplay where you got to find out where someone lives by going to either City Hall or the hospital, and you put in things in the paper with your evidence. You do it right, and you find out where the location where they live. You're doing a lot of looking at the maps and putting little things in. Okay, I got to go here and do that. It was made. I realized it too after a little bit of playing. I was like, oh, it's made by Frogwares, who do the Sherlock Holmes games that I like. And it's very much in that vein. Not the same, because those games don't have a ton of combat or anything. But it's a good game. I would actually check it out. I would assume it's not expensive. When I bought it, it was like $10 used on GameFly. There were some side quests. I didn't do all the side quests. I did like 5 or 6. They were all right. You know, a lot of the stuff, I'll admit, you know, the backtracking back and forth. I got to go here, got to find out where this person is, go there. And once you hit enough fast travel points, it becomes a lot easier. But before that, you're like, because part of the city is flooded, so you got to hop on a boat, go this way, get back to dry land and shit. I said 6.5 the other day. I'd give it a 7 now. 7, even maybe a 7.5. It was enjoyable. You know, I was at no point where I was like, I'm not playing this anymore. It's annoying. You know. And the story's cool, and your character always has this look like he's just like freaking hasn't slept in weeks. It's a very bleak game. I would check it out though. It's on the PS5. I think it's on the newer systems too. You can get copies for that as well as the PS4, Xbox One. It might actually be on the Switch too. I don't know. I'll get at least for a download. It's not like a graphical powerhouse or anything. It's not a bad looking game, but it's not like, you know, top tier Spider-Man 2, whatever the fuck, you know. Been watching Halo Season 2, 3 episodes in. Better than the first season. Not that that was going to take much. There's still just not the point. Like, I'm a little spoilers here. If you're not watching it, we probably don't give a shit if you haven't yet. But they're on Reach in this one, so it's playing out kind of similar to Halo Reach. Was it Noble Team in Halo Reach that went in there? And like Master Chief pops up at the end, like he's on the ship, and like, yo, we have to get him out of here because he was like the new model, I guess, the shit. Like, you know, he's like, this is the guy who's gonna turn the tide. But in this one, it looks like you're the one fighting. He's gonna be fighting. Like next week's episode looks like you're actually gonna see some shit. And he's out of the uniform a bunch again. I don't personally mind that too much. The side stories are still there, but they're not like in your face. Cortana's face changed in this one. So the voice is still the same. Last episode was very talky. They changed. Like the shit's changed, obviously. And I like what's his name, Pablo. Is that his name, like Schreiber or something like that? He's solid in the part. Like I like him as the Master Chief. Like he kind of has the attitude down, and the problem is, you know, he's out of the suit so much that it's a little much. Here comes the cat wanting to grub my food. This cat grubs like anything you have. Like we've had a lot of cats over the years that don't give two shits about people food, but some that have. But she is just like, oh, what are you eating? Let me see. But I'm not minding this season. I just, you know, here's the thing for me when it comes to Halo. Usually, 9 times out of 10, they make a video game or whatever, especially a lot of the times with video games, more so than any of the mediums that end like a book or a comic book and stuff. Comic will change it up quite a bit too, but I feel like video game stuff, a lot of the times they just have a boner for just completely going off of the source material. Like, I understand you can make changes here and there. It's not going to be exact. I understand that. But sometimes it's just like, why don't you just call it something else? But here's the thing I want personally. I just and it hasn't been enough of it yet in this season. There's a really cool part in the beginning, in the first episode. I want more Covenant. I want the Covenant, and hopefully it's going to start, I would assume now, because the Covenant's on Reach, and here we go. They're going to start destroying the planet and then eventually glass it. I want to see them fucking shit up. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see the Covenant destroying shit. The Spartans and the Marines fighting back, battles and stuff. I mean, the budget's probably not there for all that, but that's what I want to see personally. Like, I want to see hunters. I want to see, the the elites. What do they get? They actually had the Singali, grunts, jackals. I don't think there were brutes. Were the brutes on Reach? I can't remember. They probably were. They might not have been. I haven't played Reach in a while. I've not read a lot of the novels or any of them. I think I read one of them, so I'm not like I know one of the guys in this one is in the books, and the acting's solid. And then this stuff with Halsey and this other shit, they're doing. Like, it ties together kind of nicely in the way they're telling their own stories, but in terms of like actual Halo lore, it's 20%, what it should be. But I just want to see battles. Like, that's when season 1, when they had the scene when the Covenant comes down and the drop pods are coming down and shit, and hey, and everybody's battling. I was like, this is sick. I would assume this season's going to be okay, Reach is gone. They're looking for the rings, because they allude to that now, that the Covenant's looking for the ring. And I would assume season 3, if they get one, unless they really are just like, okay, Reach is gone, 2 episodes in, and now we're going to move into like the first Halo game. I don't know. But I would think season 3, if they get it, is going to be like, I want Covenant, and then it's like, yeah, I want the Flood now. Let's get it. Let's get down to business, 100% understand why the people would hate this show. Because I don't. Season 1 had some cool moments. Overall, even in the sense of just it being a sci-fi show, take the Halo out of it, you could be like, okay, this season's building towards something. It wasn't that great, though, at all. And this one is better, but if you probably, I don't know. I didn't hate season 1, but I didn't really, it was very like, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. A few enjoyable moments. Because they brought the woman back again. Was it McKee? Who's hanging out with the Covenant, and she's like, they're doing the Covenant, like the elites, like, oh, open the door, and I don't remember that ever happening, where like they're like, oh, bring a human in, and they're gonna do stuff. I don't know why. I'm rambling for a few minutes. I am done with these. Maybe I'll ramble for a minute or two here about how just when it comes to video game stuff, like, I don't know why the people making this stuff based on video games, most of the time, sometimes it's done a lot better, but it's just like, oh, look, we have this story here. You know what? Get rid of all that. We're just going to do something completely different. We're just going to use the name. It's weird. Video games, like, it's like all the time, like, they think they're better. Like, oh, fuck video games. They're fucking bullshit stories. Anyway, we'll make it a good story. It's like, there's plenty of good video game stories. There are plenty of stupid ones, but there's plenty of good ones to where, like, I feel like some people treat video games still as, like, the baby and the bullshit media. Like, this ain't a movie. This isn't a movie. It's not a TV show. It's just a fucking stupid video game, they're not like, look at something like a Silent Hill 2. Like, let's see how that movie turns out. You have a great story and somehow it'll be like, oh, Pyramid Head's in love with fucking James, something stupid. And they'll fucking be. It's video games. I mean, Uncharted did a pretty good job of being, faithful to the games, but that was even, different as well. That was, I mean, I would assume that's almost was playing more as a prequel to the first game. I don't know, but so many times, like even the Resident Evils, it's the first one. You're like, okay, and then it was just like it's something else, And I like some of those movies for sure, but I in my mind, I have to take it out of my mind. Like this is the movie Resident Evil. This has nothing to do with the games, type thing. Oh, they got characters from the games, but it doesn't follow. It's not following how the games went. You have to just in your mind kind of disconnect and understand, and then take it as it is. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But like I like the Uncharted movie quite a bit. I thought it was cool. I liked the first. I liked what was the. I didn't see the very last Resident Evil. I don't think. There was one where they were in. Did they end up in a prison at one point where they were hiding out? There was the one in the desert in Vegas, right? That was pretty cool. I think that was the third one. I can't remember this. What was it, like 6 or 7 of them? First 2 or 3 were cool, and then it started to drop off. The first Silent Hill I enjoyed for the look. They got the look down, but the movie overall was kind of bleh. It was playing off the first movie, the first game, which is fine, but Pyramid Head was there because he was all the rage. You're like, okay, Pyramid Head, he's popular. People, he shouldn't be there. And then in the second all really bad Silent Hill movie where he fights the main bad creature thing, he's fighting it. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Pyramid Head saved the day, pretty much. So there was that. What else has there been? I mean, like the Castlevania show, the one that was kind of based, not fully based on, but it was based off of Dracula's Curse and Castlevania 3 and Curse of Darkness was great. I love that show. There's that other fucking Resident Evil show they did on Netflix. I think they only gave it 1 season, where it was like in a town, like a weird place, and Wesker's kids were there, and they were going to school. Lance Reddick was Wesker. He's obviously since passed. And I was like, shit, I could see him as Wesker. He's got that kind of demeanor, but it was such a different. I was like, why are they in this weird community? And I'm like, what's happening here? It's like, okay. Resident Evil Raccoon City, Welcome to Raccoon City. I like that. That got the look down as well. Obviously, it was trying to combine both the first 2 Resident Evils, kind of. But once again, some of the characters, while acting was good, like the guy who played Leon was good. I've talked about this. I was like, I could see him as Leon. But they made him a doofus. Like what? Then Wesker was like had a heart. Like get the fuck out of here. And I always hate when they're like, we're going to stay faithful. The fans are going to love it. Once they say that, you're like, no, maybe I'll end up enjoying it, but you ain't staying true to shit. Okay? But I'm trying to think of some other ones real quickly. Other games. Well, I know Henry Cavill is doing like a Warhammer, right? 40K. He loves that shit. Like he loved The Witcher, but then it started to veer off so far that I think he left. I think that was part of the reason. He's like, listen, this is going so far off. And that was more the books anyway, not the games. That was off the books, but same thing, source material that was moving so far away from it that he's like, I'm done. I haven't even finished the 3rd season, I guess. I watched like the first episode and I tuned out. I mean, I liked the other 2 seasons well enough, but if I tuned out, that means I wasn't going to enjoy it enough. Not hate it particularly, but I wasn't going to love it. But apparently he's a huge fan of Warhammer as well, and he's played the Witcher game, so he's a bit of more of a PC gamer, apparently. I think they asked him that one, like, are you Xbox or PlayStation? He's like, PC. And everybody's like, yes. But he seems to love it, and he's like really involved. He's starring, and I think he's like executive producer and stuff. So he's probably that. I mean, I don't necessarily have any affection or whatever towards Warhammer, but that's cool. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for checking this out, and have a good day.